Stop hoping for your business to grow and start mastering the formula for success that every entrepreneur needs to grow their business. Join us for 5+1 Mastery, where every week we go in depth on how to grow your business the right way. Learn more at 5+1mastery.com.
Hey everybody, welcome to this episode of Connect, Share, Prosper. I'm your host, Chaz Wilson. Hey, I want to bring an interesting topic to you today. Here's the question I want to ask you. What would you do if your business was deemed non-essential? Some of you have been. And what do you do when your business is told you're not essential, you can't open, you can't operate by virtue of a government official, a government policy, and yet now you're trying to show up to feed your children? What are you going to do? How are you going to handle that? In this episode, I'm going to share with you a story of some gym owners in New Jersey and get your take on it. So here we go.
I'm your host, Chaz Wilson. I bring you successful entrepreneurs, add valuable wisdom to your journey, and help you succeed. Welcome to Connect, Share, and Prosper.
Hey, let me ask you a question. Could you imagine today getting up and deciding that your job as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, is you got to provide for family? Sometimes you're providing for others, you employ others. And could you imagine you get up today to operate your business and you're told that you cannot operate? You are not able to be in business by virtue of a government official, a government mandate, a policy, something like that. So today I want to share with you a story that I became aware of, I think probably on Instagram or Facebook. Someone shared with me some gym owners in New Jersey, and they were told that they could not open their gym when we went through the COVID quarantine. And look, this is an important issue because who deems your business essential or not is an important thing. And, this is not something that business owners have typically had to go through. You're worried about making a sale, growing your business, maybe taxes, et cetera, but there's not been a tremendous amount of government infringement to the point of you can't operate like there has been lately and over the last few months. And I want to bring this story to you. Again, these gym owners, I became familiar as this video came to me of literally somebody on their phone taking video where the doors are closed, they cannot get in, they cannot operate, and they're told by a sheriff that they were okay to open their doors, okay to open. They go in, people are working out. A few hours later, the police show up and arrest people for them operating this gym. And it's mind-boggling to think two state agencies telling them different things, and how would you operate as a business owner? So let me take you into this story here as we go in, and I want you to meet one of the gym owners of Atilis Gym, Ian Smith. I want you to listen to what he says. I'm going to kind of bring you into this story right from one of his Instagram posts. So let's take a listen to this.
All right, good morning. It is Thursday, July 23rd here at Atilis Gym in Belmar, New Jersey. And as you can see, our doors are once again off the hinges. This morning we were served with contempt of court charges for the second time. We beat them earlier this week on Monday, and they were filed this morning, and we have a hearing tomorrow. Kind of funny how quickly the governor gets his court hearings. Keep in mind, we filed in federal court and state court against him 2 months ago, and we have not had an adequate hearing yet. Just kind of funny how that works. So anyway, our doors are off the hinges. Same game plan as last time. We will not be leaving the building.
So what you can hear is Ian talking about same game plan as last time. When they were told to close, he and Frank, his business partner, which you'll see here in just a second, they actually stayed at the gym and said, we're not leaving. And you're going to hear more of this story. But again, what would you do? Would you just say, oh, I got a letter, I can't operate, I would close my doors and not operate in business and not feed my family? These guys are fighting back, and I want you to listen carefully to their story and some of the measures that they take on this. And so I'm going to finish this clip out, and then I'm going to share with you an interview on CNN.
Unless we're taken out in handcuffs, they're probably going to try to hit us with some heavy fines. In the last ruling, the judge said that we could be held responsible for attorney general fees, which is a convenient way of bankrupting us. Keep in mind that attorney general position is a taxpayer position, and they want to fine us on top of it and make us pay for their legal fees. So just another way for him to come at us, try to bankrupt us. But it is what it is. We're inside. We're staying inside. And, just a quick reminder for everybody out there, they asked for 14 days. They asked for 14 days. Flatten the curve. 14 days Today is day 128 of the shutdown here in New Jersey.
So, and I've listened to a lot of their posts and followed this for quite some time. And at this point, this was in July, as he says, there were over 100 days of shutdown. They were initially, the governor asked for 14 days. They're now over 100 days of this shutdown. They've been trying to operate a business, and I'm bringing you into this story. And the interesting thing is, at this point in his messaging, and you'll see a shift here, and I'll share with you at the end, but at this point in his messaging, it's not political. Although everyone around him is trying to make it political, it isn't political. He's making it on principle, right? Principle of being able to open his business. Now, they will get political because you'll see why, and they're forced to. But at the beginning of this, it's just merely principle. We want to be able to operate our business. And then they actually filed against the governor. This story had picked up so much steam at this point, and they had people started GoFundMe accounts to help them stay open and pay their fines, et cetera, et cetera. The national news started to pick this up. And so I want to share with you, and I'll pause this a couple times, an interview on CNN, and listen to the case they make of why they should be allowed open as a business. Okay, so take a look at this.
And just to be clear, they're not breaking into somebody else's place. This is their place. They're kicking in the plywood barricade at the front door of their gym because they want customers to get in. They say that at the Atilis gym, they have done what they were supposed to do to make it safe the way other businesses that they are similar to, in their own estimation, did. And that yet they are not allowed to open. All right? This is a court battle. They could go to jail. Now you have the state AG's office there in Jersey recommending a fine of up to $10,000 a day. So this has become about more than business. And I want these men to make the case because they're somewhat representative of something that's happening all across this country.
Somewhat representative across the country. This is happening everywhere. Schools, churches, businesses being shut down, being told you can't operate. And these guys took this head on. You've seen Ian has a hat on, and you'll see in several of his posts he has a shirt on. It says lions, not sheep. He's saying, look, we're not going to be told what we can do. This is still America. We have freedoms that we are still able to operate. And now, they will mention in here, and I will just show you guys. This interview on CNN is in August, I believe, and in May they actually posted their rules to stay within the orders of what you could do at the gym, and I'll share these with you. We'll put them up here on the screen, but it says rules for Monday, May 18th. Only members are allowed inside the facility. No day passes, no guest passes. This was so that they could understand who was coming in and out of their gym. We'll be operating at 20% of our building's capacity. We will not be accepting new signups. You must have a mask on at all times unless you're in the middle of your set. Hand sanitizer will be at the door upon entry, as well as placed around the gym. You'll be given a medical questionnaire, as well as a waiver and written copy of that to sign before you enter the facility. Temperature will be taken upon entry. Anything above 100.4 will not be allowed. Strict social distance guidelines will be in place. Showers and lockers are off limits. Water fountain will be shut off. There will be no shared equipment. Each member will receive their own spray bottle upon entry. Do not expect a normal day at the gym. And Monday will be on a first-come, first-serve basis. Guys, look at the extent they went to follow all the rules, and we're still being told they could not operate. Listen to their story here.
Ian Smith and Frank Trombetti are the owners of Atilis Gym, and they're here now. How you doing, fellas?
How are you, Chris? How are you?
So, look, the best case they have on you is this is about health. It's not about not liking exercise. It's not about not liking you. It's about keeping people safe, and you should respect that, and you're not. Your response, one at a time.
I would say that actually when this first started, they asked for 2 weeks. When we first opened up, we gave them 2 months. We gave them until May 18th. At 2 months, they had no plan. Plain and simple, they had no plan. We did. We actually wanted to prove that we could open up safe. They actually say that liquor stores are essential, that actually every place that you can go into Home Depot and Lowe's is essential. I disagree with that. Okay, we're all essential. Everybody's essential. And bottom line is, this isn't about opening up a gym. They have violated everyone's constitutional rights. We all have the right to make a living. We all have a right to actually do what we want to do as Americans. We are promised liberty. And they have actually put such oppressive restrictions on us that it's just unacceptable to us.
Guys, you get that? Liquor stores around the corner from them were deemed essential and could stay open, but their gym was deemed non-essential and could not be open. And again, they were told this is only going to be 2 weeks, and now they were at 2 months. They decided to open with a plan because they didn't have a plan presented to them from the government. Again, would you be as patient as they were to stay closed for 2 months before you finally made made a decision to open and do something? These guys were closed for 2 months and decided to open up with a plan. And now listen to what they do next. Listen to this story.
They say they agree with you, and you have the right, obviously, but you have to balance that right with the risk to people who will come in there, be breathing all over each other in too tight a space. And gym is different than other places because people are getting so exercised, excuse the pun. It's not about restricting your liberty. It's about keeping people safe. Counter.
I would argue that the gym is a place to keep people safe. This is a place where people come to build their immune systems, to build the strength of their body physically on the outside and the inside. This is a place where people come to relieve stress. This is a place where we have soldiers that have served our country that come to deal with their PTSD. This is a place that we have recovering drug addicts who use this as an outlet. This is a place that saves lives. This is a place that creates health and fosters health.
How do you keep somebody from being sick? So I come in, I'm sick. And look, everybody knows that I'm a fitness guy, and I have a lot of friends who are in the gym business, and a lot of people who are in this kind of pain. And I understand it, and I feel sorry for it.
You would not be allowed in. When you go to a Home Depot, you go to a Lowe's, you go to a liquor store, they don't do anything but make you require a mask and stay 6 feet apart from each other.
Right.
When you come into our gym, you actually stand in front of a biometric scanner that takes your temperature. You take a disinfected pen. You fill out a health questionnaire, just like you would at a doctor's office. You take that pen and you put it in a dirty bin so we can actually disinfect it. You're handed a bottle of a disinfectant that is actually from Ecolab that actually is proven to actually kill the coronavirus in 45 seconds when it's diluted at 4 ounces per gallon. We actually have an air scrubber in here, which is it's a mobile decontamination unit that actually circulates approximately 10,000 cubic feet of air per minute through a UV light run by hydroxyl generators. It provides 99.9% chemical-free and virus-free air. Their science says that the masks don't work. Plain and simple. It is a safe place to be. It is not a confined space. We actually have 25-foot ceilings in our gym. They have actually taken all gyms and they've actually considered them as one. They are not all equal. I agree.
Well, the state says that too, Frank. The state says that too. Look, I don't agree with
the case he's making. You can walk into Home Depot. Some people walk through without a mask. Look at the steps these guys took to ensure safety, more expense out of their pocket. I mean, to the point, I have been places that haven't taken as much with taking a pen that I filled out the questionnaire and putting it in a dirty bin. Like, look at the extent to which they are going through to provide safety to the people who visit their gym. And again, listen to the case they continue to make.
The state says that too. Look, I don't agree with you about masks, but that's not what we're talking about here. They say, well, no, that's not right. We've allowed outdoor drills. We're allowing one-on-one indoor martial arts, Ian. We're allowing yoga instruction, and we'll allow you to do whatever you want outside as long as you can follow certain rules. Why is that not good enough?
Our governor has allowed outdoor fighting. You can actually full contact fight outside. I can punch you into something. You're an athlete. You actually are one of the tough guys out there. If we're actually sparring outside and I punch you in the stomach and I knock your mouthpiece out, you're going to spit in my face. But Governor Murphy says that you can't get COVID that way. But because it's outside.
But somehow walking into a facility that's highly regulated, that has a 15-point safety protocol that goes above and beyond what any business in the state of New Jersey, and I would argue any business in the country has done so far, you can get COVID just because what? There's dumbbells in here? It doesn't. It's very inconsistent.
All right, so you guys can go back and watch the full episode of that interview. They talk about a lot of other things here, but I wanted to just make the case. You see what they're looking to do. In fact, there was another gym owner in Arizona who made the same case early on, saying, look, there's no statistical data, and they make this case as well in the long interview. There's no statistical data. They said, Governor, give us the data that shows that people are getting COVID from gyms. Show me where that's happening. Show me where the rules that we've got here are not helping this, and we'll be happy to comply. We'll be happy to make these other changes, etc. But that's not what happened. In fact, the governor doubled down and started fining them. They lost their business license. They had to go in and present their case, and they lost their business license. They're being fined now. I think it started at $10,000 a day. Then it went up to $15,000 a day, trying to bankrupt these guys. They put wood planks up on their door to close them down. They then pulled the wood off and put some sort of metal component over the front door so people couldn't get in. They've continued to break those down and get in. Now there's celebrity athletes that are going out to show support and going and working out at their gym and taking photos and raising money because of this violation, right? When you talk about life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, right? Well, what's happened is this is an extreme view for them that liberty and pursuit of happiness are to go away in the perception of protecting life, right, via health. And they're saying it can't be just one, it has to be the ability to have all three. And Ian has made a case on another interview. He said, look, either shut every business down or keep them all open. You as the governor shouldn't get the right to decide which business is essential and which isn't. So with all of that restriction that's come their way, again, think about what would you do? Would you continue to fight? It feels like, from my perspective, I don't know about you guys, but it feels like the government's trying to just wear them down, right? Okay, you're going to do this, we'll do that, right? And it becomes a game of checkers. You make this move, I make that move. Well, real business owners don't play checkers, they play chess. And so they sort of said, all right, we'll checkmate. We'll follow the rules and we'll put you on notice. And here's what they did. I want you to watch this quick message about what they decided to do based on the government and the governor continuing to fine them, pull their business license, and tell them they can't operate.
Just moments ago, we put out a press release that is available on Facebook and on Instagram for anybody who wants to take a peek. All local and national media sources also have this information notifying them of any changes. So, since the state of New Jersey will not allow fitness centers to reopen, and they're fining us in the amount of $15,000 per day with a total now of well over $200,000, Frank and I have decided to adjust and refocus. Starting today, effective immediately, and every single day moving forward until the election in November, Tillis Gym Belmar is now a designated location for political rallies and volunteer activities in support of the Rick Maida for Senate campaign.
You guys catch that? They are now not operating as a gym. They're operating as a place to have a peaceful political rally and exercise your freedoms in support of a candidate in their local area. And they will remain that way until the election. Basically, they said, checkmate. You're going to continue to pull from us the ability to operate as a gym. We won't be a gym. We'll play by your rules, and here's what we will be. It's pretty creative. It's a pretty creative move. I tip my hat to them to continue to fight for their right as a business owner to operate and to create an income that they have the right to do, to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. So listen to what they say here.
Rick Maida is running against the incumbent Cory Booker. Now, this is not about affiliation to a political party. This is about supporting somebody who has strongly supported small business and strongly supports the protection of our constitutional rights. We encourage all of our members to come down and volunteer and exercise their rights. We will be doing various volunteer activities, including some fundraising as well, but we encourage all members to continue to come down and exercise their rights. This is about taking a stand for our First Amendment rights and our rights to stay healthy in the face of a pandemic.
Come down, all members, and exercise your rights. I mean, again, awesome. Ian makes a great case here. Now, here's the interesting thing. Where would you fall in this? Where would you be? I mean, look, as entrepreneurs, you have a right to operate within the law. You have a right. And look, why is it that the liquor store could remain open the entire time around the corner, but their gym that's promoting health and wellness with safety protocols in place? I mean, you listen to Frank talk about all the things that they were doing, the sprays and the steps and the waivers and the temperature checks and the masks in between sets, the things they were asking their members to do and the things that were required by their members to do, and why they couldn't do that, right? And yet he has posted, and again, you can go follow him on Instagram or Facebook, they've posted pictures of these same government officials not following the very rules they've put on Atilis Gym. So that being said, look, what's happening in this storm, if you will, of restrictions against entrepreneurs, and some of them in some states don't have the restrictions, in other states it's very restricted. You have people like at a local, I believe, city council meeting, you have a gentleman who stood up and said, look, we're going to pay attention. If you're going to continue to infringe on our rights, we're paying attention. And we're going to come for your seats, and not a physical threat. In fact, listen to this message from this gentleman right here, not related to this, but I think he makes a strong point that is shared by a lot of entrepreneurs.
Zapata. I wasn't going to speak. I was asked to speak here, Sheriff, good to see you. I'm telling you guys, I'm pretty appalled at what's going on. At first we sat as concerned citizens and we all wanted to figure out how to best navigate our way through this whole COVID thing, and as we realized that it's not quite as dangerous as we thought it'd be, I was absolutely appalled at the cowardice, and as you're sitting there with your masks on, I don't blame you for wearing masks, because I'd be hiding my face too if I was you for what you're doing. It's absolutely horrendous what you're doing to these people. I'm a business owner, and I'm telling you, our families are starving. You guys can sit here with your jobs, you can sit here and you're gonna get paid, you can fall asleep in your chair like that gentleman's doing behind his mask right there, okay? And I'm telling you right now, we're being peaceful. And you better be happy that we're good citizens, that we're peaceful citizens. But it's not going to be peaceful much longer, okay? And this isn't a threat. I'm not a criminal. I've never been a criminal. But I'm telling you that good citizens are going to turn into real concerned and revolutionary citizens real soon. And nobody else is going to say that. I'm probably the only person that has the balls to say what I'm saying right now. That we're building, we're organizing, and we'll work with law enforcement or without law enforcement. But you won't stop us when time comes, because our families are starving. And if you don't hear the seriousness of my voice, I hope you open your ears and you absolutely listen to what I'm saying. Because this is a warning for what's coming. It's not going to be peaceful much longer. It's not going to be rah-rah. It's not going to be speeches. It's not going to be gathered outside saying a Pledge of Allegiance. It's not going to be waving flags. It's going to be real. When you've seen the things that I've seen, I went to war for this country. I've seen the ugliest, dirtiest part of humanity. I've been in combat. And I never want to go back again. But I'm telling you what, I will to save this country. If it has to be against our own citizens, it will happen. And there's a million people like me, and you won't stop us. Open the county. Let our citizens do what they need to do. Let owners of businesses do what they need to do to feed their families. Take the masks off. Quit masking and muzzling your children. The psychological damage that you're doing to them is horrible. I've had 6 friends kill themselves since it's happened. Veterans who lost their jobs. How do you feel about being complicit in perpetuating that? The greatest hoax ever perpetuated on the American people, and you're a part of it by wearing your masks. In Shasta County, we're supposed to be red country up here. Not blue country, we're red country up here. You guys know that. You claim to be conservatives, maybe you're not, maybe you're liberals, I don't know. But by God, we're Americans, and remember that. Take your masks off, quit muzzling yourselves. Join us, fight with us against what's going on in Sacramento. It's a travesty. Thanks.
Look, here's the point. People are paying attention, and they're paying attention to this ability for freedom. And I said a couple years ago on the stage at Connect, in fact, I was overcome with emotion when I came on stage, because some people were complaining, and look, I get it. They were complaining about their room at the hotel. The internet was down. The air conditioning didn't work in somebody's room. And I'd heard some complaints, and I thought, man, which is funny. There's another post that Ian just posted, and it said, hey, quit complaining. There's people that actually live in New Jersey. That was great, just with the restrictions they have there. But look, people were complaining at our event. And I got on stage and I realized something that's pretty powerful. There were some people last night on TV that were naturalized as citizens. And several of the people who were now given the right, because they earned it, to be citizens of this great country, came here and by whether it be parents who started a business, got in line, did it the right way, and who are now business owners themselves. People come to this country, many of them, to be business owners. So they have the right to write their own path, write their own check, and create their own freedom. Why is that? Because of the opportunity to be an entrepreneur. And in many places, those rights are being infringed on. And so I tip my hat to the guys at Atilis Gym for standing up for their right to be a business owner. And look, if they had just said, screw it, we're going to just open our doors, no masks, no nothing, no protocols that they were following, I could understand the argument. But I think they have laid out a really amazing case, laid down in principle as to why they should be able to operate. And this saga continues. I'll continue to stay on it and bring you more information as we go through this. But the episode today of this podcast, what I wanted to drive more than anything is, as business owners, we need to come together, we need to stand together, and we need to support each other in the fight to grow a business and provide for our families and for those employees in which we employ in our great businesses. So what say you? Where's your stand on this? I'd love to know. Drop me some comments on what you think about this episode, number one, and then the fight that they're up against and supporting these guys at Atilis Gym. So I appreciate you being with me today on this episode of Connect, Share, Prosper. Till next time, be well.
Stop hoping for your business to grow and start mastering the formula for success that every entrepreneur needs to grow their business. Join us for 5+1 Mastery, where every week we go in depth on how to grow your business the right way. Learn more at 5+1mastery.com.